Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Shabby Howard coming at y'all with another video. You feel what I'm saying? It's through the spirit. It's gonna be a quick little video just proving who the Israelites are today. So I'm gonna most likely title this video, "Who are God's chosen people / Israelites today?" You know what I mean? Because we gotta have to understand who these people are to understand who everything belongs to, right? So I'm gonna start off with the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. So just giving a backstory of this chapter real quick. This is after Moses had freed the Israelites from Egyptian captivity and split the Red Sea. Now they're in the wilderness, and this is the commandments that, the laws, statutes, and commandments that Moses is giving the Israelites, which is God's chosen people, right? So I'm gonna start right here, just the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So we're reading right here in verse 15, as we see, like, he giving them an ultimatum. If you don't keep these commandments, you're going to be cursed, right? And it's just point blank period. And you just scroll up to verse 1. He says, basically, if you do keep the commandments, right, it says, it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So it's an ultimatum he giving the Israelites. You either go keep the commandments and be blessed, or you go not keep the commandments and be cursed, right? So we know throughout the whole Bible, Israel didn't keep the commandments, right? So let's see the curses that fell upon Israel, right? Because later down in the chapter, verse 45, real quick, it say, moreover, verse 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou beest destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. They shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. So we see these curses are going to be upon God's chosen people forever. You know what I mean? So we just go down the list, right? Verse 16, right? And it reads, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. You feel what I'm saying? We know who is cursed in the city in today's times. You feel what I'm saying? In the past few years, we've seen all the unarmed black people getting killed, the Mexicans at the border being oppressed, being put in the cages, the Haitians are being oppressed. You feel what I'm saying? With a government and economic system that's going on down there. The people in Venezuela, the people of all the Americas, you feel what I'm saying? The so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans are the ones being cursed in the city, right? And keep reading, it says, and cursed shall they be in the field. We know he was in them cotton fields or them sugarcane fields. You feel what I'm saying? That was oppressed by our slave master. You get what I mean? Just a few hundred years ago. These things apply to us, the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. These things are the things that we're dealing with, right? And it says, verse 18, it says, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body. You feel what I'm saying? Our bodies, we the main ones got high blood pressure or diabetes or gout or all of these other things. You feel what I'm saying? All of these other diseases, cancer, HIV, AIDS. You feel what I'm saying? We the main ones that these diseases hearken upon or cleave on to. You feel what I'm saying? We the ones, everybody in their family. We know if you black or Hispanic or Native American, you know somebody either got liver cancer or something like that, or something wrong with their kidneys, something wrong with them in their body, in the fruit of their body. You get what I mean? And I'm gonna jump down to let me see. I'm jump down to 28, right? It said, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. You feel what I'm saying? Who was smitten with madness? You feel what I'm saying? People are just don't know what's going on, just strung out on something, or strung out on drugs, strung out on drinking. You get what I mean? People are drunkards, or what else to say? And blindness, meaning you don't see right, you don't see straight, you don't know what's going on. You lost out here. You just following after whoever is I don't know, whoever in your eyesight. You get what I mean? An astonishment of heart, meaning you don't know what to do. You get what I'm saying? You astonished. You just in a daze almost, right? People, these are the things that so-called blacks and Hispanics are dealing with. and Native Americans. You feel what I'm saying? Look at verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. This is a prime example of what happened in Roots. Pretty sure majority of you brothers and sisters have seen Roots. What happened when somebody had a wife and the slave master wanted to sleep with him? You get what I mean? We had a whole wife, and the slave master came in there and said, I want you tonight. And we couldn't do nothing about it, right? Because it says, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. And thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, or the so-called black people built the whole Americas. You feel me? We built the White House, but we're not dwelling in the house. We're not dwelling in the White House. We built all of America, but we in the ghettos. We're in the poorest parts of every city. It say, and thou shalt, so like it say, thou shalt plant a vineyard, thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. You feel what I mean? It's kind of like you reaping, you sowing stuff in your field, but you're not reaping the benefits. You get what I mean? Just like picking cotton. We picked all that cotton. Are we in benefit of using or selling any of the cotton to make profit from it? No. Everything we have done in this land is not profitable to us. You get what I mean? Right? And I'm going to jump down to verse 32. It said, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. So this is going back. I'm going to bring up Roots again. During the time when Kunta Kinte got grown and he had his daughter, I believe her name was Kinsey, they sent Kinsey to a whole nother plantation. And look what it says. It say, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Because Kunta Kinte and his wife just had to sit there and look at their baby being taken away by another people. And there wasn't no might in their hand. They couldn't do nothing. They just had to look and cry for all the day long. You thinking about your daughter being taken or your son being taken away for all the day long. The next day, the day after that, and you don't got no might in your hand, meaning you don't have no power. You can't do nothing. You can't stop it. Only thing you can do is sit there and die. Imagine how that felt, man. And we see that all of these curses is applying to our ancestors, the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, because our ancestors, we are descendants of slaves in these last days. You feel what I mean? Don't forget verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. An astonishment and a proverb and a byword. A byword is just something like nigger, spick, you feel what I'm saying, wetback, Afro-American, colored, black, Negro, all of these things, red skin, you can just keep going down the line. You feel what I mean? All of these things is proverbs and bywords among us. And it says, among all nations where the Lord shall lead thee. Pretty sure, I don't know if one of y'all seen this video when it was some black athletes going to China. And soon we got off the bus. They was just calling us the N-word. N-word, N-word, N-word. You get what I mean? Like, among all nations, wherever we at, they're going to be calling us names, right? And that doesn't happen to nobody but us. Nobody but the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Verse 41. Thou shalt have, they say, thou shalt beget. Beget mean you having kids. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Who had sons and daughters going into slavery? We did. You feel what I mean? We done seen the what's the name? We just seen the little pictures of the little babies picking cottons and stuff of that nature. You get what I mean? I'm going to get verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. This is all throughout the black communities. You get what I'm saying? You go to the gas station, go to the supermarket. Wherever you go in your neighborhood, it's a stranger there. It's not your people. It's going to be a Arab, a Hamite, you feel me, a white man, somebody that's not your people that's going to profit off that black dollar circulating through that neighborhood, right? And that's why I say it said the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, meaning the strangers within our community is going to get up very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Because how is all these heathens, non-Israelites, profiting off us? But we go outside and we see our people strung out on drugs, or, you feel what I'm saying, just strung out, homeless on the street, you feel what I'm saying, doing crack, cocaine, heroin, all of these things, right? This is all we see in our neighborhood. This is how we came down very low, right? And look at this. Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail, right? Because whenever you need something, whenever you need whatever you got to get in these from these grocery markets or whatever, because we don't own it. I mean, he's lending to us. The cattle, all the food we eat, the land we buy, the chicken we buy, you feel what I'm saying? The beef we buy, they're lending to us. And we not lending nothing to them. If we need a loan or an approval on something, they gotta give it to us. We not giving it to them. He shall be the head and thou shalt be the tail. Meaning he's at the top and we at the bottom. You feel what I'm saying? We at the lowest of the low and they're at the lowest. I mean, they're at the highest of the high. Right? I'm going to jump down. Verse 48. It say, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, and hunger whenever we hungry. We need something. You get what I'm saying? You want to go to McDonald's, want to go to Burger King, Olive Garden. You feel what I'm saying? Who own these things? Our enemy. Our enemy owns everything we do. And in thirst, whenever you thirsty, so you want to go to Starbucks or something, you get what I mean? They own Starbucks. So you want to go to Tropical Cafe, they own that. You want to go to Smoothie King, they own that. So whenever we hungry, we got to go to our enemies. Whenever we thirsty, we got to go to our enemies. And in nakedness, whenever we need some clothes, Nike, Jordan, well, not Jordan, but Nike for them. So Adidas, all of these things we wear, T-shirts, you feel what I'm saying? You know, our people, we buy Gucci, Louis, Prada, all of these things. And who own these things? Our enemies. Regardless of what we want to believe, these are our enemies. These people hate us. We just seen Gucci come out with a little fleece, and it was like a turtleneck, but it had a black face. It had a mask going up to the face, and it was a black face. We just seen these things. You feel what I'm saying? Givenchy. We want to buy all the things that our enemies sell us. And it says, and want of all things, you shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. That yoke of iron goes back to slavery. You feel what I'm saying? Yoke of iron is that yoke they put around our neck along with the chains to keep us in bondage, to not running away, to not from fleeing. You feel what I'm saying? Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Who represents themselves as the eagle? The European countries and the United States of America. Because he brought these people from one end of the earth to the other to bring us from one end of the earth to the other. As swift as the eagle flieth, a tongue thou shalt not understand, because we wasn't speaking whatever they were speaking, like old English, none of that. We didn't understand what they were saying. We was lost, right? And watch this. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. You feel what I mean? During the time of Christopher Columbus, where they say he, quote unquote, discovered America, but that's a damn lie. You feel what I'm saying? Native Americans been over here. The Taino Indians been over here. The Mayans was over here. All of these people been over here in these lands. The Olmecs. He didn't discover nothing, but it's showing you a nation of fierce countenance, meaning fiery. You feel what I'm saying? They're going to do whatever they want to do, and when they want to do it. And say, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Meaning whoever, just like us in slavery. They put the young men in the cotton field, and they had the old men in the cotton field, I'm damn sure. And when Christopher Columbus came over here, he killed the young Native American and the old Native American. They didn't care. They gave the smallpox blankets to all of the Native Americans. They didn't care. You feel what I'm saying? All of these curses that I'm reading applies to so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. So this is proving that we are these people, and we can see all of these, majority of these things today. And we got to understand these things in these last days, because time is getting short. Time is getting real short. Say verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you, meaning he care for you. You feel what I'm saying? He got a heart for you. He'll get a shirt off his back. He'll get his shoes off his feet for you. And very delicate. You feel what I'm saying? He'll feed you, give you a whole meal, give you a place to stay. Everything. He'll do everything for you, right? It says, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. You feel what I'm saying? Me growing up in Detroit, I'm pretty sure all the brothers that didn't grow up in some type of hood or anywhere. You feel what I'm saying? If you was around your other people, it was always some type of tension or a mean mug or this or that or what he looking at. You feel what I mean? It's that evil eye toward his brother. You feel what I'm saying? It say, and toward the wife of his bosom, meaning he'll be hating on his wife. This is a curse upon us, right? Domestic violence. You feel what I'm saying? Always tension in the house, arguing. You feel what I'm saying? This is what happens in black communities. It says, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Who has this stigma placed upon them, or your dad went to go get some milk and come back? Who are the main butt of these jokes? So-called black and Hispanic people, bro. You feel what I'm saying? This is proving that these curses are still alive and are still on God's chosen people, because he told us that these curses will be upon thy seed forever, because we serve as not him in joyfulness and happiness of heart. So he put these curses upon us, right? I'm going to get this one, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you. So it's given the opposite, right? You see, the tender man already got the curse upon him about him beefing with his brother, him beefing with his wife and leaving his kids. Now we about to see what the women got on them. The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, meaning she is royalty. She won't even walk on the ground. Now let's see how much she changed. Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom. See, more domestic violence. And toward her son, and toward her daughter. And they keep going on this one. It says, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for one of all things, secretly and in siege and straightness, wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. You feel what I mean? Even our women got evil eyes towards their husbands, and toward her son and her daughter. You feel what I mean? I'm going to get verse 58. It says, if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful. You feel what I'm saying? He made the black and Hispanic plagues wonderful because we the only ones going through the trial and tribulations. We the only ones who went through Jim Crow. We the only ones who went through KKK. We the only ones who went through segregation. We the only ones who went through all of these atrocities. In the past 500 years, we went through the most atrocities known to man. And it's not even talking about the atrocities of, you feel what I'm saying, when we knew our heritage. This is just talking about in the American soil. That's not even talking about what happened, or what the history we don't know about across seas, or the things that happened to us while we was in Africa. You get what I'm saying? This is just talking about in the past 500 years of us being in America. All of these things equate to the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American, right? So I'm going to jump down again. Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth, even unto the other, and thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. The wood is that cross. You get what I'm saying? The cross represents Christianity. We didn't turn it to Christianity, and it says, which thou nor thy fathers have known. We didn't know about no Christianity. We knew about us being a true people of God and us keeping the laws to our God, Yahweh, and his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. This is what we worship. We don't worship Christianity. And that stone is what? The cobblestone. You feel me? Our people always going to trying to, what they call it, transition into a Muslim or become a Muslim. You feel what I mean? These things are not the things our fathers know. You feel what I mean? We know about the law. We know about keeping the law and believing in Yahweh Shai. I'm going to keep going to verse 66 and say, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. Thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. All right. This is what happened in slavery, and this is what's happening now. When you wake up in that and you got to go pick cotton, you don't know what master go do to you. You don't know if he go try and make an example out of you, buck break you, or hang you. You know what I mean? Thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. Even when we get pulled over, our life is in doubt. We don't have no assurance of our life. We don't know if we go make it home, or we get pulled over by two white cops. You get what I mean? This is just the truth, right? And I'm gonna this is gonna put the icing on the cake, right? It said, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, right? So we know that the Israelites was already in Egypt, but like I said in the beginning of this video, this is after Egypt. So he's telling them that they're going to go into Egypt again, right? It says with ships. So he said, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, meaning the first Egypt is over and we walked out of that one. So why would we need ships for this second one, right? Let's see what Egypt mean on top of that. This is the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So Egypt is synonymous with bondage. Another word for slavery, right? So we go back here, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. We just read that Egypt is synonymous with bondage, or another word for slavery. So he's saying we're going to bring it into slavery or bondage again with ships. The so-called blacks and Hispanic people are the only people that went into slavery on ships. 1,000 and I think in the 1400s. Yep, in the 1400s, 1,000 Taino Indians were taken into slavery into, I believe it was Europe or somewhere along that coast. You know what I mean? 1,000 Taino Indians got took into slavery to Europe in the 1400s, and in the 1500s, the so-called blacks got taken from the western shores of Africa to the Western Hemisphere, which is the United States, into slavery in the 1500s, right? So that's two instances where God's chosen people has went to slavery on ships, and that's the only instance you will get. Nobody else in the world or no other nation has went to slavery on ships like that, right? And it says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. Meaning he said we won't go see that little Egypt again. So this is proving that this is a new Egypt, right? And just for a quick note, if you look at the back of the American dollar, it's an Egyptian pyramid on there. And we went to slavery in America. That's how we know that America is synonymous with Egypt as well, right? And I'm going to keep going and say, there you should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. You should be sold to your enemies. Who was we sold to when we got off them ships? And we was on that auction house, that auction block. To the oppressor, to our enemy, the so-called white man. And then we can see that today, that he's still our enemy, and he's still oppressing us. And when it says that no man shall buy you, there's a Hebrew custom to redeem our people from heathen nations back in the ancient times if they were being oppressed or if they weren't being treated right. We would redeem them, we would buy them out of captivity, they would come work for us. And after them 7 years, we would have an option, or they would have an option to leave or to continuously stay with us. You get what I mean? And just to prove that Egypt is synonymous, or America is synonymous with Egypt, right? Look at this. It's Revelation 11 in verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. The great city is being America. You get what I'm saying? That American dream. Everybody want to come here and thrive in America or be American. You know what I'm saying? Make America great again. You get what I mean? The great city, which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. You get what I mean? It says it's called Sodom in Egypt because what is America portraying now? You feel what I'm saying? The alphabet crew, I'm going to call them that, the alphabet crew. They trying to teach this and throughout all schools and all of this and that. You feel what I'm saying? Sodom. We know what Sodom was known for, the alphabet action. You feel what I'm saying? Then it says it's called Sodom in Egypt. Egypt, like I said, is synonymous with bondage. Sodom in Egypt, the capital of the alphabet community, and where the Israelites served as slaves at. And then it says where also our Lord was crucified, because we know that the Israelites are the body of Christ. So if we was over here suffering persecution and being tormented and being kept in torments for 300 plus years of hardcore chattel slavery, that's how they crucified Yahushua, by killing us off. You get what I mean? And I got a few more precepts just to prove that the people of the Bible are black people, right? I'm gonna get the main one, right? I'm gonna start at Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. It said the revelation of Jesus Christ. So revelation of Jesus Christ, the root word of revelation is to reveal, meaning a revealing. So when you reveal something, you see what it is, right? And it says of Jesus Christ, his real name is Yahushua. His name is not Jesus Christ, but it's because the letter J was invented in 1524, and the name Jesus is a Greek word or a Greek name. It's not Hebrew. You know what I mean? Yahushua was a Hebrew man. I'm going to get straight to the point. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 13, saying, in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girded about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool. Wool is giving you the color and the texture of his hair, right? So it said it was white and it was like wool. Wool is the texture of a sheep. Whenever you seen a sheep getting his hair cut, it looked just like a black man or a black lady getting a haircut. When they got an afro, you cutting it off. You get what I mean? When they just yank it all off, it look like wool. Wool is like that rough carpet type hair, as white as snow. You feel what I'm saying? And his eyes was a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So in today's time, he would be a so-called black man or a so-called African American. He would be loud, because it says his voice is the sound of many waters, meaning like the sea is this hitting some rocks. Imagine how loud that is. You feel what I mean? Giving a description of it, right? And I got a few more. I'm going to get this one in another translation as well. Just the book of Acts chapter 13 from the top. Now they were in the church that was at Antioch, certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called the N-word, nigger, and Lucius of Cyrene, a Manian, which have been brought up with Herod, the Tetrarch, and Saul, right? Now I'm going to get this over here, right? In the same text. Let me highlight it for y'all. Highlight that. Acts chapter 13, verse 1 in the New Living Translation. Among the prophets and teachers of the church at Antioch of Syria were Barnabas, Simeon, called the black man. You feel what I'm saying? Called the black man. And we got to understand these things. This is what they don't want us to know. This is the biggest kept secret. You feel me? And just to get one more precept, right? Just to show y'all what happened to our people. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, in verse 4. It says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. You feel what I'm saying? We don't know where we come from. We are lost. We the only people that call ourselves after a color. The Russian man can go back to Russia. The Chinese man can go back to China. The Vietnamese man can go back to Vietnam. All of these people have a homeland. We don't. We call ourselves black and African American. There's no place on the planet Earth where that is called. So why are we the only person calling ourselves a color? Because we discontinued our heritage that our God gave us. And it says, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. Because we went into America, went into all of these lands which we don't know, and we serving our enemies, which is the so-called white man, the Asian man, the Arab man, the African man. You feel what I'm saying? All these people are our enemies. It says, in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. You know what I mean? This is what happened to our people. And this is how we come back into understanding who we are by reading these curses that is upon God's chosen people. And this is proving that the people of God today are the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. So I hope this lesson was edifying. I hope y'all, you feel what I'm saying, pick up on your heritage and come back to who God called you to be, right? And I'm going to show you how much he loves us. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. It says, for thou art a holy people. It says, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to close with that. I like to say, call Loyam, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, say Shalom.